Hello, we continue the study of how to compute average, and as always, one of my favorite ways to do this is to solve some word problems. So we will be looking through numbers. We will be solving 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we'll get down to 12 at the bottom of the page. We are using Singapore Math textbooks. It is page 87. So let's read. A taxi driver traveled a total distance of 1,659 kilometers in 7 days. Find the average distance he traveled in a day. My friends, here they give you the total distance and they give you the number of days. How do you find about how long he traveled, how far he traveled on each day? It is a simple division. So we have total, right? We don't have to add anything up. Total distance, and we have to divide it by 7 days to find the distance traveled per day. So let's compute. 1,659 divide by 7. I hope you remember your long division and love it so much. Please pause this video. And once you unpause it, I do hope we match up. And the answer is 237 kilometers per day. That's the average distance traveled. I always like to put my answer in a circle, but always ask your teacher. Martin saved $1,032 last year. What is the average amount he saved per month? Again, we don't need to add anything up. They already gave you the total savings. So we have total dollar amount for savings per month. We have 12 months in a year, right? 12 months. So therefore, let's substitute $1,000. That's the total amount saved, 1,032, divide by 12. Again, feel free to pause this video to complete your long division. And once we're back, I hope we all match, and it is about $86 per month. I like to use this vertical slash diagonal slash in order to say per month. Or you can also say 237 kilometers per day. Okay. Number 9, Jesse's average score for 5 tests is 74.6. Find his total score. My friends, I hope you understand that they want you to find the total. They don't want you to find the average. I call them reverse problems. Instead of asking you for the average, they gave you the average on his tests. They want you to find the total sum, the sum of 5 scores. This is a different type of problem. It's a different type of problem. Let me highlight it in a different color, because this is very important that you recognize this pattern. It's a reverse average problem, let's talk about it. So typically, how do you find the average? In order to find the average, you say a total, maybe total score, total dollar amount, total distance, divide by some number, right? Number. Now, what is given in this problem? They gave you the average. 74.6 is the average, okay? So you have this quantity. And you know there are 5 tests. How do you find the total sum? Let me just fix this. This is the total or the sum, right? The sum of all the tests. Well, in order to find the total sum, you have to use inverse operation. You have to multiply. What by what? So in order to find the sum of all his scores equals, you have to take the average, 74.6, and multiply times 5. Okay? And once you do that, this is exactly how you do it. In order to find the total score, this is a different problem. They are not asking us for the average, they're asking us for the total. Okay? So how do we find the total? We use inverse operation. So 74.6 times 5. I hope you can pause the video and do the work yourselves. And we get 373 points total. And I always like to do this to my answer. Now, next problem. Let's read the problem. Warner spent an average of $4.65 per day for 8 days. How much did he spend altogether? Again, typically, in order to find the average amount spent, we would say total amount, total dollars, divide by 8 days. But in this problem, they gave us, it is given that the average is 465. It is given that we have 8 days. What we need to find is how much did he spend altogether, right here, the total amount. In order to find the total amount, so total dollars, you would do reverse operation. You would take the average of 465 and multiply it by 8 days, which I think you can probably do logically anyway. 465 per day times 8 days, we know that the total spent would be $37.30. Next problem. The average mass of 3 boxes is 1 kilogram, 400 grams. Find the total mass. Again, we are given the average. What is needed to be found here? The total mass. Just like in problem 9, find the total score. In problem 10, how much did he spend altogether? In number 11, they're asking us, what is the total mass? So, again, we need to use, typically, to find the average, you would say total weight, or total mass, divide by 3 boxes. But we know the average, we know the number of boxes. In order to find the total, we would use inverse operation. And the inverse operation is multiplication. Notice, we multiply, inverse operation. Again, in order to find the total, if you're giving the average, in order to find the total, you would need to use the reverse operation. So 3 times 1 kilo, 400 grams. Let's do it step by step. Multiply the kilos, multiply the grams. This becomes 3 kilograms. I hope you remember. This becomes 1,200 grams. So altogether we have 4 kilos and 200 grams. Final problem on this, not the final problem. Problem number 12. The total mass of 4 cats is 5 kilos and 200 grams. Find the average. Now here, again, always write down, in order to, based on what is being asked by the problem, find the average. How do we typically find the average? Average is, we add up the total, right? In this case, total mass, and divide by the number of 4 cats. What is given in the problem? 4 cats, yes, we know. The total mass, yes, we know. So let's divide. We would divide 5 kilos, 200 grams, which I hope you remember, it's the same as 5,200 grams. You can do conversion, divide by 4. And I hope our answers match up. Each cat, on average weighed 1 kilo, 200 grams. Now, the last 2 problems on this page. David took 15 minutes, 20 seconds to cycle 2 kilometers. If he traveled at the same average speed, how long would he take to cycle 1 kilometer? Again, we know that this is how long it takes to travel 2 kilometers, right? How long would it take to travel 1 kilometer? How long would it take? Well, we see it's twice as short, right? So we take the total and divide it by 2. And once we can do it in multiple ways, right? Let me just erase this so I can put my computation. So 15 minutes and 20 seconds divided into 2, we have, let's do step by step. 15 divided by 2 gives us 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And 20 seconds divided by 2, it's plus 10 more seconds. So it will take about 7 minutes and 40 seconds to travel 1 kilometer. And finally, problem number 14. Peter took an average of 2 minutes 45 seconds to travel 1 kilometer. How long would it take to travel 3 kilometers? Well, I hope you understand it's 3 times the distance. 3 times the distance means 3 times the time. So we just need to do 2 minutes and 45 seconds multiply times 3. Now, if we do remember how to multiply, oops, what just happened? I swiped. So sorry, friends. How do we multiply? I would say 2 minutes, 45 seconds. We can just do it like this. First multiply 2 minutes, then multiply the 45 seconds. So we would have 6 minutes and 45 times 3, 121, 35, 135 seconds, which we know 135 seconds is 2 minutes. So it would be 8 minutes altogether and 15 seconds. 8 minutes and 15 seconds. My friends, this is your first introduction to word problems about average. Remember, the point of today's lesson was not only to find the average speed, average amount spent, but also use inverse operation to figure out the total right here, just like we did in examples 9, 10, and 11. I hope this helps.